When I think of springtime, I think of blooming florals, greens, new beginnings, and most of all, nature coming alive again after the dead of winter and minus 40-degree weather, at least where I'm from. It's my favorite season next to fall, mostly because my birthday is in spring, but I just love being surrounded by all the lush trees and greenery and plants all over. Hello friends, I'm Kat. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So good of you to join. Nice to have you here. How are you doing today? Here are 10 cozy gaming staples and new releases on the Nintendo Switch that bring the most springtime vibes for 2023. Probably one of the first games that came to mind when I was thinking of springtime vibes is Calico. I mean, if the bright pastel-y pink trees and falling petals doesn't remind you of Sakura season, I don't know what will. Cherry blossoms give the quintessential spring vibe, and the rest of Calico's landscape brings the most lush springtime feels. Besides the beautiful world, this game is so much fun to play, of course, and should be a staple in a cozy gamer's library. You journey in a small village where you meet magical girls and critters, and you're given the task of bringing a rundown cat cafe back to life. You can bake cute pastries, decorate your cafe, and probably my favorite part in this game is befriending the different animals around the village and have them hang out in your cafe, or even ride giant cats around town. Doesn't that sound nice? That alone makes this game worth it for me. But Calico is just so laid back and relaxing, as with most, if not all, the games on this list. If there is a cozy game that is the most about nurturing and growing flora and fauna, then that is Grow Song of the Evertree. It's literally about helping the world in this Evertree regrow after some unfortunate incidents. And to do so, you have to plant these world trees that sprout little worlds. And in those worlds, you also have to plant different seeds and fend off all the withering that's been killing the natural life and preventing everything from flourishing the way it used to. So you basically go around creating these little ecosystems, and they're all unique every time. You can grow meadows, deserts, frozen worlds, and other nice surprises where nature can thrive again, and you just keep building from there. Eventually, you will also start rebuilding a town, meet new characters to grow your community, and I love that you can take all of these on at your own pace. Cloud Garden sort of reminds me of a mini Grow, but not really. It is also about growing and nurturing flora to let it take over these little worlds, but in a super simple, super zen, relaxing gameplay. In each level, you're transported to dioramas of urban wastelands, and you bring life into these worlds again by repurposing the different abandoned buildings and discarded items and turning them into a beautiful oasis overflowing with new plant life. There is a bit of a light puzzle element to it as well, since you have to pay attention to where and how to plant the seeds, and in the end you're left with a work of art to be proud of. I love how different everything turns out every time, and the music combined with the graphics makes it so easy to just get lost in this gameplay. If you're looking to get an Animal Crossing-like type of fix with the adorable little talking animals, but mixed in more with your favorite farming, slice of life types of games, you're gonna want to check out Garden Paws. I think this game is so underrated, but it does have a lot of what we usually love in a cozy game. You start off by inheriting your grandparents' farm, and you help the town mayor to rebuild the town so it could thrive the way it deserves. Sound familiar? Yeah. This and dozens of other farming sims these days. Farm, care for animals, cook, craft, fish, mine, build, decorate, and more. But what I enjoyed about Garden Paws as well, besides the adorable world, is that you have to run a shop and you can sell pretty much anything you think the villagers might love, from a random rock you picked up to a different item you found while out adventuring on a quest. You can also invite up to 9 friends to play online with you. There's just so much to do in this game. Of course, there's also Rune Factory 5, which is the latest title in the series, but I've actually been really enjoying playing Rune Factory 4 Special lately. I've been really in the mood of playing older titles, and this remastered port from the 3DS brings everything there is to love about OG Rune Factory games with the convenience of playing it on the Switch. In this Rune Factory game, you drop into an unknown town with, surprise, surprise, amnesia, where you meet a mysterious but also very sassy dragon inside a castle, and other characters who insist that you're a royal and you have to take care of your royal duties in this town. Even though you have no idea what they're talking about, you just go along with it and you end up with a farm to take care of and an unforgettable adventure. Rune Factory games are like the fantasy RPG versions of the regular Story of Seasons games, so if you know you like those titles, then you really can't go wrong with any of them. And speaking of DS ports, Rune Factory 3 Special is also coming sometime this spring, so there's no release date yet as of now, unfortunately, but that's something to definitely look forward to along with Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life remake sometime in the summer. Chicory, A Colorful Tale is probably the most different out of everything on this list, and a bit of a hidden gem on the Switch eShop, I think. I can't say I've played anything like this before. If there are similar titles, feel free to let me know below, but it sort of mixes this top-down adventure game with a coloring book because it literally takes place inside a coloring world. Chicory is a superstar artist and wielder of this special brush, but she suddenly went missing along with all the color in this world. So you actually play as Chicory's fan, and it's up to you to pick up her brush and bring color back into the world. No pressure. And this one, while not so directly about nature, it still gives me springtime vibes because spring to me is also the season that really brings back all the life and color after a dull, cold winter. You can paint on anything in the world, so you can really let your creativity run free. Like I mentioned, it does remind me of those relaxing adult coloring books, but in game form, and there are also puzzles along the way, characters to meet, and lots of collectibles to customize your character and the world to your heart's desire. Now for some new cozy game releases coming out this month for the Switch. It might already be out by the time you're watching this, so definitely check out the eShop to be sure. Starting with Pupperazzi. Just hearing the title alone made me want to buy this game already. I don't even want to explain, I feel like you guys will just get me. But this would be perfect if you used to play Nintendogs, and it also really reminds me of Alba, a wildlife adventure, which I played on the channel ages ago. It's basically a dog photography game. What more do you need to know? But I'll tell you anyway. In Pupperazzi, you have to catalog all the different dogs around town by photographing them doing different activities. Some extreme that will have you jumping through obstacles or climbing up a mountain, all to build up your career. You can upgrade your gear and upload your iconic dog photos on social media, or just focus on perfecting your craft. It's up to you on how you want your career to go, but most importantly, doggos. Looking for a new cozy game to play? This one will hit you right in all of the comfy and retro nostalgic feels while immersing you through a really endearing mystery adventure. Not everything is all it seems though. In Melon Journey, Bittersweet Memories, this narrative-based adventure puts you in the shoes of Honeydew, who has to search for their missing friend, Cantaloupe. I just love the names already, but under the cute and quirky exterior of all the animals in Hogtown is a deeper story of crime and corruption for you to unravel. Investigate each corner of Hogtown by collecting clues, interrogating suspicious characters, and unearth even more mysteries as you go along the search and meet more of the eccentric personalities. There's nothing cozier to me quite like a really great mystery story, a jazzy lo-fi soundtrack, and a green-tinted pixelated world that reminds me so much of the Game Boy days. Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. The most springtime about this game is probably the title and some of the drinks that you end up making in this game, but it is a sequel to one of the most OG cozy games I've ever talked about on this channel, so I just had to mention that it's coming out this month as well. It takes us back to the same cozy cafe in an alternate world Seattle, and we're working as a barista, having heartfelt conversations with the different fantasy friends that frequent your shop. Humans, orcs, elves, and other races, and you get to explore the world through all of the stories that they share. As a coffee lover, I of course love being in a virtual coffee shop and brewing all the different drinks in this game, creating latte art, but there's more to love in Coffee Talk if you're looking for a really laid-back game to add to your cozy collection. Minabo? A Walk Through Life. I just know I butchered that name because I always struggle with names, but it's coming out at the end of this month, and it's another game that I don't think I've played anything similar to. It's a social simulation game that initially kind of reminded me of a Tamagotchi, but with those social aspects. From what I can tell in the trailers, you plant a little turnip and you go through the different phases of life, experiencing different relationships with other turnips. Depending on how your interactions go, your turnip molds into its own personality, strengths, and weaknesses. You can be nice, friendly, rude, neglectful, etc. You can be a part of a large community, even start a turnip family, or just do everything on your own. On the game page, it says that no two lives will ever be the same, so you'll have a lot of freedom in deciding this walk through life. In the end, you'll have a summary to look back on, and like the springtime, it kind of feels like a season of a fresh beginning and a chance for you to set the direction for the rest of the season. So I am, again, really eager to try this one. Mailtime is not yet on the Switch eShop while I'm recording this, but on the official Mailtime webpage it does mention that it's coming on the Switch and it's releasing in April 2023. So I am hopeful that we'll be seeing it sooner than later on the Nintendo Switch. It feels like ages since I first talked about this game when the early trailers dropped, but Mailtime is described as a cottagecore adventure game, and it's about your journey to becoming a full-fledged mail scout. It's set in Grumblewood Grove, and it is surrounded by lots of nature and different interesting locales. The environment is colorful and whimsical with giant flowers and even larger trees. It somewhat reminds me of going through Alice in Wonderland, so I do love that. By delivering mail, you can collect your Mail Scout badges and any other hidden trinkets, and as with the rest of the games on this list, the best part is always that you can play at your own pace and make it as relaxing and a cozy time as you want it to be. What games are you playing this spring? Can you recommend any other cozy games that also bring the best springtime vibes? Feel free to let me know and others watching this video down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Be kind to yourselves, and I will see you next time.